Welcome to True Crime with Strategic Eyes.
Strategic back again. What's going on, guys? I hope you guys are having a great weekend so far. I got a really good show for you guys, and I can't wait to share this information that I have with you. We're going to have a full loaded show today. This show is going to be filled with very useful information. We're going to finish off where we left off on the previous live that I did, going deep into the mind of Stephen Stearns. I've got some really interesting Reddit posts that I didn't have last time for you guys. That's why we're doing a number 2. We're going to do a deep dive into this guy's brain, and I don't like what we're going to see, guys. I don't like what we're going to see. And I got to tell you, from studying this, man, because you guys know on this show, we don't like to spread ourselves out to 1,000 different true crime stuff, and that's cool too, because I'm a big fan of true crime, and I listen to all the big dogs, you know, Grizzly True Crime, JLR, all these folks, you know, Coffee and Tea, all that good, Crime and Coffee, whatever. I listen to all those people. They're all very talented, but we don't have the time on the Strategic Eyes show to dive into every single true crime news story that hits the airwaves. So what we have to do, we have to get laser focused. We have to choose our stories wisely, and we have to digest it. We have to become a part of the story. We have to literally own it. And that's what we do on the Strategic Eyes show. And that's why we're so laser focused on the Madeline Soto case, because this case is so important and it's personally interesting to me, the host, the creator. So I want to jump into this, and I want to start off by reading for you guys the evidence list of what Christopher Stearns, the father of Stephen Stearns, turned over to police, because I didn't notice something. I didn't put 2 and 2 together on something that's huge. And it all plays in, of course, into going into a deep dive into the mind of Stephen Stearns. So we're going to read his online activity. We're also going to watch a video on what narcissism is, which is what I believe that Stephen Stearns is. He is a violent narcissist. And we're going to do a deep dive in that so we understand what a narcissist is, not just what people call each other on the internet. Everybody likes to use terms and definitions how they see fit, but they're really not using the actual definition of the term. No, we're going to learn what a narcissist is today. And then we're going to prove to ourselves that Stephen Stearns is a narcissist with his own words. But I missed out on something when I was reading that 22-page document dump. And it's more than 22 pages. It's 22 files. But in each file, there are dozens of pages. So we're talking about hundreds of pages. But they're calling it the 22 document dump because it came in 22 files. I want to bring this into you guys. Let me bring this into you guys. I got to do a little machination. I'm sorry. Give me a second. Let me move this over and bring this up. This is big, guys. This is huge. This is huge. Hit that like button for me. Please support the channel, guys. Hit the like button. So before we get started, really quickly, because I want to jump into this, I need you to hit the like button, guys. And what I also need you to do, both on the people who are in this live and the people who will be a part of the replay squad, love the replay squad, very important to the show. I need you to at least go in the comment section once. If you're a lurker and you don't have time to talk, you're busy, you're doing other things, but you're supporting the show by listening, thank you. God bless you. I appreciate you. But I need you to do me a favor. When you get the chance, go into the chat and at the very least say where you're calling from. Say Minnesota here, Australia here, Great Britain here. That's it. Because every single comment helps with the algorithm and helps get the show shown to a wider audience. It's called engagement by YouTube. So if you're not into having a conversation, you're busy, whatever, you're not usually the type that does the comment section thing, it's okay. I understand, I respect it. I'm happy that you're here. I am thankful to you that you are here right now. But if you really want to help the show, say something in the chat. Say anything. Throw a thumbs up. I don't care. Say something. All right. That being said, before we get started into this document where I tell you guys what I missed, Strategic Eyes, the investigator, what I missed on the first viewing of those documents, I'm going to show you what I missed. I got to give a big shout out to Sugar Magnolia, with a $5 super chat saying, saving this for my evening walk, wanted to pop in and show some love. Strategic, you're the best. Enjoy your no-nonsense approach. Thank you so much. And look how cool that is. She's not going to listen to the rest of the show, but she stopped in to show love to the show, throw us some dollars and also some engagement so that other people can get experience to this show by YouTube, seeing that people are enjoying the show and throwing it out there to a wider audience. So thank you so much, Sugar Magnolia. I hope that you enjoy your walk and you lose some calories while you're at it, because health is very important. Now, let's get to work, guys. We got work to do. Now, this is from the 22 document, or I should say file dump. The 22 file dump. And this is from, what is it, the Northport Police Department. And this is the stuff that was handed over by Christopher Stearns. They weren't found. They weren't secured by police. This was voluntarily handed over by Christopher Stearns, the father of Stephen Stearns. And look what I missed. It's 1, miscellaneous papers and receipts. 2, keychain photo of young female. 1, bracelet in box. 1, Sandix cruiser. That's probably like a USB or something storage device. 2, Florida driver's license for Stephen Stearns. 1, data stick Pro thumb drive 64 gigabyte contains CSAM. Wow, contained CSAM. You see that they just put there? I know I missed that, but that's not why I wanted to talk about. But I missed that last time because the quality of the one that we had before wasn't that good, and I could barely read it. So wow, I didn't even notice that. Contains CSAM, and this type of data stick is usually used in I think this type of data stick is used in cameras, but I could be wrong. But whatever, regardless, it's a memory stick that they have already identified of containing CSAM. And 1 Western Digital 64 megabyte cache hard drive. Now, this is what I missed, ladies and gentlemen. Recovered from storage unit by C. Stearns on 1200 hours on 4/11/2024. The hard drive. Others, March 19th, 2024, 1752 hours. What did I miss, guys? Come on, you guys are smarter than me. That's why I'm talking to you, because this is why you guys gravitate to me, because you guys are smarter than me. We're doing this together. I'm not the leader of this ship. There is no leader of this ship. We're a team. When you watch the Strategic Eyes show, you are a detective. You've been deputized. Help me out. What did I miss here? What did I not say in my previous live? I'll tell you what it is. I know you already got it. That's the reason why he drove 3 hours to his parents' house and 3 hours back to Jen Soto in Kissimmee. That's the reason why he went into his house, his parents' house, at 3:19 in the morning. Remember that exact time that his mother gave? 3:19 in the morning. He came to the house, but she never saw him, right? Remember I told you guys she's a liar. She never saw him, even though her dogs barked, even though she would expected to be home alone. Even though some stranger came into her home, she never got up and said, "Hey, Stephen, is that you?" Which we know she did. The reason why Stephen Stearns drove 3 hours from Kissimmee to his home in Northport was so he could hide the CSAM. And if you don't know what CSAM is, I seen somebody in the chat say, "What is CSAM?" That's the new way of saying juvenile exploitive media. Videos, audio, pictures, whatever. The reason why he drove 3 hours from Kissimmee to Northport was to hide that material in the storage unit. He wanted to hide it. I missed it. I totally missed that on the first talking about this, the first viewing. The whole purpose of him going down there was to hide the material. He knew that they were onto him. He knew that they probably were going to find the material on his phone, but him not being a smart guy, Not realizing, dude, it doesn't matter if you have one image or 3,000 images. It's still a crime. You're still going down. Big shout out to Jennifer Nader with the $1.99 super chat, says, just supporting your work. Thank you so much, Jennifer. And I think I missed one. Marcia Young with a $2 super chat. Thank you so much, Marcia, with a super sticker, I guess. I don't see any chat there. Thank you so much, Marcia Young. You are appreciated. I want to make sure I didn't miss anything else. No, so it's just those guys. Thank you so much, guys, for supporting the channel. Really do appreciate it. It's your hard-earned money, and you're sharing it with me. And I don't take that lightly. I don't take that lightly. So now, it's not like I figured it out, guys, because it was right there in my face. It was in my face the whole time. But I just now realized what the documents were telling me. Of course, what the police already knew, but we're not a part of that investigation. So we got to kind of look at the evidence they allow us to have, ladies and gentlemen. The evidence they allow us to have, we have to look at that and now parse out the truth because we're not a part of that investigation. We don't have all the facts. I just realized it. So I got 3 more documents for you guys, and then we're going to move on because we want to get deep into his internet history, and it's crazy. So the Strategiceyes research crew is pointing this out to me. Once again, recovered from storage unit by C. Stearns, 1,200 hours. Big shout out to the Strategiceyes research crew. I got one of the most powerful research crews out there. Why are they powerful? Because they are committed and diligent, and they care about the victims just as much as I do. God bless the Strategiceyes research crew. They're doing God's work out there, bringing this information for me, helping me out, helping me sort through this information with my busy schedule so I can now come and present that to you. I am so proud of the Strategiceyes research crew. It's a real thing, guys. It's real. Slicks96 with a $20 super sticker. Thank you so much, Slicks96. Appreciate you. You are amazing. That's a lot of money to give a show, and I do appreciate that, and I do not take that lightly. That is your hard-earned money, and you are sharing with the Strategiceyes show. Thank you. Let's keep going. So now is just going down. We're seeing now the discovery, the chain of custody. That's important for court. That shows everybody who had access to this evidence. It's so important. You have a broken chain of custody, you're going to have fodder, food and fodder for the defense to work with, for them to try to tear your case apart. Got to always maintain a good chain of custody. Let's keep going. So now is another itemized list of evidence that was taken. This one is one Cyberpower Tower Model C series. I'm interested as to why they would take that. From my understanding, Cyberpower, because I have Cyberpower. It's like an external battery backup. It kind of like smooths out the power so you don't get power surges or underpower. Kind of protects your electronics. And also, if your power is inadvertently cut right away, the Cyberpower will kick in and your electronics will operate off of battery backup power. I've had Cyberpower. I said sour power. I've had Cyberpower for years, and it has worked wonders for me on my technology, on my computers and my servers, etc. I don't know why they took it, but they took it. And this one says a PC power cord. So I think they took all this stuff because they need to have it in its original configuration so they could get it to work. You know, you're not going to leave a power cord and say, well, we have our own power cord. No, you know what? You bring his power cord and you bring it in its entirety so that you know that when you turn it on and you put it together, you turn it on to try and get what you got to get off of it, you know it's going to work because you're using the original equipment. So I guess that's why they took these. All right, so I'm going to bring it back to me. Bring it back to me, guys. See here. Okay. There we go. Let's bring it back to me. Let me go to the comment section real quick before we move on to the next section of the show, where we do this deep dive into his social network. First of all, big shout out to everybody who's joining me today. We have 235 people who are in the room. I just want to say we are like 600 people away from 60,000 subscribers. 60,000 subscribers for little old me. Little old me, 60,000 subscribers. Is it the wool suits or something? I don't know. I buy wool suits because they last forever. I'm not trying to be fancy. Is it the suits that's bringing you here? I don't know. Well, all I know is that we're 600 people away from 60,000 subscribers. So if you haven't subscribed to the show yet, please help us get to 60,000 by subscribing now. Please make sure you hit that like button. You support this channel. We are trying our best to do God's work. We have 5 new members, and I don't even know where those members came from because I didn't see them join, but apparently 5 people have joined the Strategic Eyes show. And my mouse is about to die. Oh my God. SMMR with Molly is a member of the Strategic Eyes show. Oh man, let me see if I could plug this in and charge this mouse. Anybody looking for a nice mouse? If you work from home, you should try the MX Master by Logitech. Excellent mouse. All right, let me scroll back down and let's keep going. Let me set up this next shot, guys. Please consider becoming a member of Strategic Eyes show. The lowest tier is 99 cents while I set up this next shot for you guys. But it's definitely worth it, ladies and gentlemen. Become a member of Strategic Eyes show. Support us. We do need the support. We love you very much. And that is it. Okay. Now, before we go into looking at this man's social network and hearing some of the really odd things that he likes to say, for you to get a better understanding of who exactly is Stephen Stearns, I think it's important that we understand what exactly is a narcissist. And so now we're going to use this beautifully put together animation presentation by Ted Ed. I hope they're not the type to copyright. If they are, then we'll have to cut it out. So if you're watching this on a replay and you don't see this, it's because they copyrighted and we had to remove them. But for this live, I don't care. For this live, I want to play it. I want to play it, ladies and gentlemen. Even if they want to copyright me later, I'll deal with that later. But it's so important for us to understand what is a narcissist. And I watched this video, and it seems to me like this was one of the best explanations that I've seen so far of what exactly is a narcissist. And not only is it good explanations, but it's also good visual animation to really get your brain going and figure it out. So that being said, we have Sabrina Ham, who's now a Strategic Eyes fan member. Thank you so much for joining and becoming a member. And I believe where those extra members came from, Aki gave some gift memberships. Great job, Aki. Thank you so much. So some 5 lucky people have gotten a gift membership to the Strategic Eyes show. Thank Aki, my moderator, longtime supporter. Please do thank her, because now you'll get the opportunity to enjoy the Strategic Eyes show. Now, let's play this.
Way before the first selfie, the ancient Greeks and Romans had a myth about someone a little too obsessed with his own image. In one telling, Narcissus was a handsome guy wandering the world in search of someone to love. After rejecting a nymph named Echo, he caught a glimpse of his own reflection in a river and fell in love with it. Unable to tear himself away, Narcissus drowned. A flower marked the spot where he died, and we call that flower the Narcissus. The myth captures the basic idea of narcissism, elevated and sometimes detrimental self-involvement. But it's not just a personality type that shows up in advice columns. It's actually a set of traits classified and studied by psychologists. The psychological definition of narcissism is an inflated, grandiose self-image. To varying degrees, narcissists think they're better looking, smarter, and more important than other people, and that they deserve special treatment. Psychologists recognize 2 forms of narcissism as a personality trait: grandiose and vulnerable narcissism. There's also narcissistic personality disorder, a more extreme form, which we'll return to shortly. Grandiose narcissism is the most familiar kind, characterized by extroversion, dominance, and attention-seeking. Grandiose narcissists pursue attention and power, sometimes as politicians, celebrities, or cultural leaders. Of course, not everyone who pursues these positions of power is narcissistic. Many do it for very positive reasons. like reaching their full potential or
All right, I'll stop it here real quick, only because I have to make it transformative, guys. I can't just let it play all the way through. So I will say this. There are people in the chat who are saying, I want to get a membership. I want to get a membership. First of all, memberships are done totally random. We don't have a choice, guys. It's totally random by YouTube. I've heard that YouTube chooses people who engage the most in the chat. All right. And if there aren't people engaging in the chat, then it'll go to just randomizing people who are subscribed to the show. All right. So if you do want a membership, you need to engage in the chat and then pray that one of our members are going to give a gift membership. It costs us money. It's not free. It's not like I'm pressing some button and now I'm giving out free members. Like, I'm looking to give some free memberships right now. Understand, I'm going to be deducting that money from my bank account to buy memberships. Then the last thing is, guys, I know times are hard out there, but if you're one of the people who's in the chat saying, hey, can I get a membership? I assume that this is an adult show. We mostly only have adults watching this show. The lowest tier for membership is $1.99. That's the lowest tier for a membership, 99 cents. I would hope, and if not, then I'm going to pray for you, and I'm not trying to shame you, but I would hope that most adults watching this can afford 99 cents. I'm not telling people you have to be a member. I'm only just addressing the fact that people are saying, I want a free membership, I want a membership, I want a membership. I don't know if you understand and know that the Strategic Eyes Show has made memberships so cheap that everybody should be able to afford it. We're not these other YouTube channels that are charging you a boatload of money for a membership. That's not what we're here to do. We want you to enjoy the membership. So 99 cents is the cheapest level. I think most people should be able to afford that. Now, before we continue, big shout out to Lou, who gave 5 gift memberships. 5 gift memberships. Thank you so much. And Teresa, who gave 1 gift membership. Thank you so much. Now let's keep going. Sorry.
helping make people's lives better. But narcissistic individuals seek power for the status and attention that goes with it. Meanwhile, vulnerable narcissists can be quiet and reserved. They have a strong sense of entitlement, but are easily threatened or slighted. In either case, the dark side of narcissism shows up over the long term. Narcissists tend to act selfishly, so narcissistic leaders may make risky or unethical decisions, and narcissistic partners may be dishonest or unfaithful. When their rosy view of themselves is challenged, they can become resentful and aggressive. It's like a disease where the sufferers feel pretty good, but the people around them suffer. View of themselves. Taken to the extreme, this behavior is classified as a psychological disorder called narcissistic personality disorder. It affects 1 to 2% of the population, more commonly men. It is also a diagnosis reserved for adults. Young people, especially children, can be very self-centered, but this might just be a normal part of development. The 5th edition of the American Psychiatric Association's Diagnostic and Statistical Manual describes several traits associated with narcissistic personality disorder. They include a grandiose view of oneself, problems with empathy, a sense of entitlement, and a need for admiration or attention. What makes these traits a true personality disorder is that they take over people's lives and cause significant problems. Imagine that instead of caring for your spouse or children, you use them as a source of attention or admiration.
And this is what we'll see Stearns doing in some of the conversations. It may not be in the dump that I'm doing now, but certainly in part 1, we showed how he was using Maddie as almost like he was like the perfect parent. And he was using examples of how he parented Maddie to show that he's the #1 dad, right? So it's almost like this was made for Stefan. Now, we did a poll on if people believe that Stefan Stearns is a narcissist. Quite a few people responded to the poll. 96% said yes, and then there's 3% that said no. I would love to hear from the 3% as to why you don't believe so. You're not in trouble or anything. This is just a poll. We're just trying to pick people's brains. So if you're part of that 3%, please put @TrueCrimeWithStrategic so that you could glow. If you don't, you'll get lost in the chat, right? Put @TrueCrimeWithStrategic so that I can see that you're talking to me, and give me your reason why you don't think that Stefan Stearns is a narcissist. Let's keep going.
Or imagine that instead of seeking constructive feedback about your performance, you instead told everyone who tried to help you that they were wrong. So what causes narcissism? Twin studies show a strong genetic component, although we don't know which genes are involved. But environment matters too. Parents who put their child on a pedestal can foster grandiose narcissism, and cold, controlling parents can contribute to vulnerable narcissism. Narcissism also seems to be higher in cultures that value individuality and self-promotion. In the United States, for example, narcissism as a personality trait has been rising since the 1970s, when the communal focus of the 60s gave way to the self-esteem movement.
Okay, hold on, guys. So we got to stop playing this because I just got an alert from YouTube, and I think these guys be copyrighting them channels from copy. Oh boy. So we're gonna have to stop. It says, warning, we've detected video on your stream belonging to someone else. Your stream may be temporarily blocked if you plan to continue. All right, so we're gonna have to negative K. Let's get that out of here. Let's get that out of here. They're not playing. It's about to shut me down, ladies and gentlemen. They're about to shut me down. So anyway, I mean, listen, we would hope that, a presentation that was presented 8 years ago with over 13 million views, that they would be, generous enough to let other people, use that content in a transformative manner to kind of make a larger point. So all credit goes to TED Ed. I'm going to get the link for that and make sure that I have it inside of the comment section. I'm also not the comment section, inside of the bio, so that they can, get some credit for it, whatever. Hopefully that'll be enough. If not, then we'll deal with whatever copyright issues we have to deal with at a later date. But it was important for you guys to hear that and understand that. I'm sorry I had to cut it short because YouTube basically said, hey, listen, we're about to shut you down. And they were planning on blocking me. So hopefully, and it just popped up again. So hopefully they won't block the stream. If they block the stream, then we'll come back on and we'll finish out the show. So I apologize for that. Once again, we had 340 people in here. If the stream gets blocked and shut down, I will come back on live again and we just right back and we'll be good. Lou said the copyright strikes on YouTube are ridiculous. I don't think these guys would copyright strike me, but what they would do is a copyright claim. So it is what it is. And both of those things are punitive. But the strike is basically, we're trying to take your channel down. That's usually personal. But they will most likely try and claim the video and say, hey, listen, it has our material in there. We want the revenue or whatever. It is what it is. All right. So let's keep going. Before we get started, pull up the next screen. I want to gift the membership. Oh, yeah, I should say this. Everything is being used here under fair use. Not that this works anyway, guys. That stuff is a myth. It doesn't work. But still, I'm using it under fair use. I'm using it because I want to use it transformatively to add on to the work and to make it unique. And that's why I used that stuff, okay? It was used transformatively. All right. That being said, we move on. Let the chips fall where they're going to fall, all right? Now, before we jump into this and I start putting up these messages on the screen and start reading them, if you want a gift membership, because I've been working some overtime. I worked all night last night. I got home at 7 in the morning this morning. If you want a gift membership, let me get a thumbs up inside of the chat. Let's see some thumbs up in the chat. Because remember, if you're going to get a gift membership, you have to engage with the channel. So if you want a gift membership, you got to start putting something in the chat, because in the next 5 minutes, I'm going to drop 5 gift memberships, okay? And if there's any Strategiceyes fans who want to go out there and match me, we'll appreciate it. I'm not telling you to. We're not doing some fundraising drive or something. No, not at all. But I'm going to drop 5. Aki's already dropped 5. Lou has already dropped 5. And a few people have already dropped 1 or 2, which is awesome. So I'm going to drop 5. If you want a gift membership, let me see some thumbs up there. And I'm going to wait 5 minutes, because remember, it waits for the engagement. So I want everybody to have a chance to get that gift membership, right? And if you are a member, don't throw a thumbs up because you already got a membership. But if you're not a member, remember, engagement is what gets you that gift membership. Throw that thumbs up in the chat. And I'm going to drop 5, and let's see. We're not asking, but let's see if another Strategiceyes member wants to be generous and throw 5 more. We'll see. It is what it is. But ask the members in the chat, it's worth it, because I drop content almost daily. Almost daily I drop content. So it's definitely worth it to be a Strategic Eyes member. All right. So I'm gonna start the show. Let's go to these pictures, but I'm not gonna forget about you, because pretty soon I'm gonna drop 5 gift memberships for some lucky folks here on the Strategic Eyes Show. All right, let's do it, man. Woo! It's a good show today. I love it, guys. You guys love it? I love it. Today is a great day. Let me move myself over to the corner, make some adjustments so that we can fit all this information in here. All right. How you like me on the side there? Perfect, right? Now, boom, let's do it. Let's get it going. I'm going to be looking over here is where my screen is at, so sorry we can't make eye contact. I know a lot of you like eye contact with Strategic. But no eye contact today because I got to read. All right. What makes you most nervous about tomorrow, right? These are all confirmed from Stephen Stearns. They're all confirmed from Stephen Stearns. Period. It's confirmed. All right. That it's not a guarantee, which doesn't exactly make me nervous, but I do try to always be conscious of the fact you don't necessarily have to live life to the fullest every day, but you should certainly always live our lives as if today will be the last memory anyone ever has of us. Now think about that. Let me let it finish and then we'll think about that. And just try our best to live in a way we would want to be remembered. Think about that. Think of how arse, I'm trying not to curse, how arse backwards that is. Think about that. Think about what he's saying here, the motivational words he's saying, and how he lived his life opposite to the words that he's saying. Think about that. Try our best to live in the way we would want to be remembered. How would Maddie have remembered you if you did not kill her? This guy is such a delusional, narcissistic, ignoramus bastard. Yeah, I said it. Because he's such a contradiction, because what he says and the perception he wants to be viewed as is the exact opposite of who he really was and is. It's a narcissistic, angry, evil person. Let's keep going. Teenagers of Reddit. Now, what is this grown man doing in the teenage section of Reddit? I don't know. I think that was enough time. Let's drop this membership right now before I get deep into this, because once I start getting fired up, I don't want to be disturbed. So let's get 5 gift memberships. Boom. Let's hit yes, straight from the credit card. And enjoy, you beautiful people. Let's see who gets them. 5 gift members from Strategic Eyes Show. Let's see who got it. We got Tori Byrne. Who else we got? Sheila Smith. Congratulations. JJ. Congratulations. Diamond Ring Girl. Congratulations. Karen. Congratulations. Congratulations, guys. Welcome to the family. Welcome to the Strategic Eyes Show. Let's keep going. Teenagers of Reddit. What is this guy doing in the teenage section of Reddit? Let's see. Focus on the ability to just be friendly with girls and not expect anything from them. If you have no expectations. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Is Mama there? Okay, you can let Mama in. Mm-hmm. All right. It's a good boy. Somebody knocked on the door, but it's Ma, and I can see her from my camera, his grandmother, so I know she's safe. I know she's safe. She's right at the door. I'm looking at her right now on my camera, and he came all the way down to the studio to say, Dad, I know you told me not to open the door without your permission, so I just want to let you know Grandma's at the door. Isn't that such a good little boy? I mean, what more could you ask for, right? All right, let's continue. What is this guy doing in the teenage section? Well, let's read it. Focus on the ability to just be friendly with girls and not expect anything from them. Listen to this crap. Listen to this crap. This dude's talking like he's a perfect gentleman, but when he had a chance, he's molesting a little girl. And I'm using that word lightly because molestation and rape are 2 different things. but we usually use them interchangeably, but they're not interchangeable. To molest somebody is less than to RAPE them. But let's keep going. To not expect anything from them. If you have no expectations, then you have no reason to be nervous, and you don't try too hard or get up in your head about it. They're just people like you. You're just two people talking to each other. No need to be overly nervous about it. Just relax and treat the encounter like any other normal interaction, and you'll eventually become more comfortable and able to pick up on social cues and then return that interest in a calm and cool manner. This guy thinks he's the smartest guy on the planet. Smoothest guy on the planet. He's safe. You could go to him for advice. He'll never hurt you. He'll never steer you in the wrong direction. It's the classic example is do as I say, but not do as I do. And thank God, because we all know what he does and what he did. Let's keep going. Why do you want someone who just used you as something to masturbate to? Now, I'm a grown man. You'd never find me in this corner of the internet. I have no interest in this. There's nothing that can motivate me unless you were paying me and I'm doing some advice column or something like that to even want to answer this question, to even participate in this type of it. Now, listen, somebody obviously went through something and they just wanted some advice on it. I get it, but I'm not interested in being a part of these type of conversations because I got bills to pay, ladies and gentlemen. I got bills to pay. So let's keep going. So Sustanet, which is a BDSM name, we spoke about that in part 1 when we did the deep dive. We discovered that Sustanet is a BDSM name, a name used in those circles of people who enjoy that degenerate lifestyle of sexual encounters. He says, why would I want someone who definitely wants me to? ? So he's basically saying, what's the problem with that? I don't know how to answer that. I guess it depends if you also want that person and whether or not you are turned on by them getting off to you. So he's kind of like being sarcastic, like, well, what's the big deal? Don't you want somebody to want you? But let's keep going. Then he says, men, why'd you choose to get circumcised? Do you regret it? Now let's read what he said. Didn't choose it, done as a baby. I don't regret it per se, but I do sometimes wonder what kind of sensations I may be missing out on. This guy's obsessed with sex. He's obsessed with it. I may be missing out on. That said, I've heard the horror stories from female friends who encountered uncut men that did not practice very good hygiene down there. What? Let's keep going. And all I can say is, if you are uncut, clean it thoroughly and clean it often. This is just disgusting. Who talks about this stuff? And what grown man is walking around with what he's describing, unless you're mentally ill or homeless? Like, this is crazy. People take showers, but whatever. Let's keep going. Parents, if your son is uncut, teach them how to properly clean down there and teach them why it is so important. Some guys don't even know to pull it back all the way to clean, or that pulling it back fully and often keeps the skin scratched enough so that it can actually be pulled back and clean comfortably. Who talks like this? Who has this type of conversation? This is weird. Let's keep going. He says, I read a story about a guy. You seem to be very interested in these things, Mr. Stearns. I read a story about a guy who had never pulled his foreskin back fully since childhood. As a result, it became too tight and he couldn't do it without feeling like it was going to rip. He had to go to a doctor, not to mention the years and years worth of smegma that had accumulated behind the tip, and the smell gagged everyone involved. So yeah, that's that. This is disgusting that he thinks like this, and it permeates in his writings. He always have to be over the top, over sexualized, and disgusting. Who heard that story? He made it up. He had to make it up. And even if he didn't, who's searching for a niche story like that where one person had poor hygiene and it smelled? Like, this is crazy. He wasting all his time on the internet searching for things like this. And before we end the show, once again, this is a part of deep diving into this man's mind. I'm going to show you a police document that shows you why this man had all this time, that shows you why he's such a goddamn loser. Let's keep going. Oh, that's a rough one. The way it typically goes. So let me read the title. This was How Can Sexual Relationships Be Blank? We don't know what the rest of that said. Let's see if we can surmise what the topic was from his response. A big shout out to everybody who's contributing in the chat. That chat is on fire. And I love all those smiley faces people are hitting on the side that kind of like hovers over the chat. Thank you so much. Well, they're not smiley faces, but they're faces. I love it. I love it. I love it. And thank you for the chat bumping the way that it's bumping. Please make sure that you hit that like button if you haven't hit the like button, and subscribe if you're watching you haven't subscribed, because we're trying to get to 60,000 subscribers. There's 600 people away, and that's a little bit when it comes to YouTube. So anyway, let's see if we can surmise what this one is talking about. Oh, that's a rough one. The way it typically goes is you'll both try for a while, but this is talking about long distance relationships. I read this one already, and he's basically going to talk about long distance relationships, and I wonder if he's actually kind of like projecting a little bit on the relationship that he had with Jen. Now, I know that there were large swaths of time that they lived together, but there were also times that they were apart. And from my understanding, there's no evidence. I know I listened to one friend who said that they were always breaking up and getting back together again, but I've never seen any documentation or anything from Jen or Stearns or anybody really close, like in the nuclear family, who said that they broke up a lot. So there's no real concrete evidence of that. So it's possible that when he was away, that they were still together trying to maintain a relationship from a long distance. I'm not sure. We'll have to figure that out eventually. But let's see what he has to say. But eventually it gets difficult. And with the other people who are interested in her and more immediately available, and more people who are interested in you and are more accessible, it will get even tougher. The travel gets to be a lot. And then comes the friendships that you suspect may be developing into more, or the person that is her friend is obviously interested, and then jealousy and paranoia has a route to find its way into the situation. It gets lonely, stressful, and expensive when you factor in the constant traveling, either in airfare or the fuel/wear and tear, accelerated maintenance on your own vehicle. Let's keep going. That's why the general consensus amongst most people is that these things typically don't work out for long. Apologies for casting a rain cloud over you, friend. I hope it works out, but don't beat either of yourselves up about it if it doesn't. You may have to make decisions that are the best and most fair for you both. If you do it right, you may be able to stay friends at least and possibly reconnect later down the road if the time and feeling is right. Once again, casting himself as a great guy who's just trying to give really good advice to people. Let's keep going. What are the 3 most toxic, and I guess I tried to say social media outfits? TikTok is one of the most harmful at this point. Let's see why he says. Gives narcissists a platform and feeds into it. Gives narcissists. Gives people with messiah complexes. Messiah complexes. He's talking about himself. A platform and feeds into it. Gives idiots a platform and encourages other idiots to follow along like lemons. You mean like idiots that kill a teenage girl and think that they could get away with it even though they're the last person to be seen with her? Thinks that he could molest a child and grape a child since age 8 all the way until age 13? Because there's a possibility you may have. I'm working on a show right now. Big shout out to the Strategiceyes crew about the possibility of this being some type of ring. I'm hesitant about it. It's going to be difficult. It's going to be time consuming to put it together. But the information is coming together that he could have possibly have filmed a snuff film on the night that she died. Maybe he didn't plan to kill her. Maybe he just was pushing the boundaries and she passed away. Maybe he choked her just a little bit too long and she never recovered. I don't know, but it's weird that he was on Telegram, a site known for trading illicit, illegal content, even CSAM content. He was on that platform during the time that he killed her. Why? Who would you be talking to right before you killed this little girl? So I'm working on that. I'm treading it lightly, though, because I don't want to be a conspiracy theorist. I'm trying to find out the respectful way of covering it while still saying it's just a possibility, ladies and gentlemen. So we'll see what happens with that. Big shout out to the Strategic Eyes research crew, though, for bringing me the information that's going to help me possibly make that video. But he's talking about himself right now. It allows people to make these big, grand gestures and virtue signal, like you're doing on the internet, you're virtue signaling, and execute harmful publicity stunts at the expense of other people, and facilitates the exploitation, manipulation, and or persecution of anyone at any time for any reason for the creators deem fit. You mean you, when you were creating CSAM, when you were exploiting this little girl, destroying her life, destroying her youth, destroying her self-esteem, destroying her body, destroying her self-worth, her self-image, her psyche, destroying all of that for your own manipulation and exploitation and persecution of this little girl as the creator of CSAM? That's what you did. Big shout out to A Crime to Remember with 199 super chat, says, stop. I can't. I got to keep going. I got to keep going. I love you. She's a great supporter of the show. Thank you so much, A Crime to Remember, and also a member of the Strategic Eyes show. Appreciate you. I got to keep going. The world has to hear this. Let's keep going. Often from a skewed and narrow perspective, and often resulting in virality, I guess, so viral is what he's trying to say, hate speech, witch hunts, crusades, death threats, and or public humiliation. That's in addition to its ties to China and the fact that private user data is regularly accessed outside of the U.S., so much so that both sides of the political aisle have expressed concerns over it being a potential threat to national security. Do you guys hear this? This man, the audacity he has to say the things that he says, and has the point of views that he has, considering the things that he does behind Jen Soto's closed doors. Let that one sink in. The audacity he has to present himself in the way that he presents himself on the internet behind Jennifer Lizette Soto's closed doors. Let that one sink in. Men who have mustaches, what are the perks? Sustenance says you can legitimately wear hats and t-shirts that offer free mustache rides. Corny. Unexpectedly great student. Let's see what he has to say. I haven't read this one, but let's see if he says something about Maddie in here. Maybe he does, maybe he doesn't. I don't know. Let's see. Sometimes it's like that with kids. I was the same way in high school. I was usually quiet and polite, but when me and my friends were together, we raised hell and fed into each other's mischief. It could just be that the other kid being absent may have broken that feedback loop of effery, so to speak. I don't know if they are friends or in cahoots very often, but it seems like likely upon first glance, or maybe he just is more hellish to people he is more comfortable or familiar with. Don't really know what the hell they're talking about without the proper context. Let's go over here and give a big shout out to Zareen Wilhelm. Thank you so much for the $10 super chat. Says, this is my favorite cop show these days. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. Well, listen, man. When you've got like, I don't know, 100 million creators on this platform and 2 billion people watching at any given time, because they do have a lot of creators on this platform, millions and millions and millions, and somebody says, hey, you're my favorite, that's big, and I appreciate you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Let's keep going. And guys, please push that like up. Hit the likes, guys. Come on. Hit the likes, support the channel. Please hit the likes, support the channel. Help get those likes up so we can get, listen, if it didn't do nothing for the show, it's not an ego thing. If it did nothing for the show, I would not care. But I had a personal conversation with a YouTube rep when I was retooling the show, and I was asking him, how do we get this engagement? How do we get the show shown to a wider audience? When you're a creator, you have a direct line to YouTube. And the guy told me, he said, you need to tell your audience to hit the thumbs up and to be active in the chat. That is what the algorithm takes as a successful show that they can now recommend to other people. So that's why I asked you guys to hit the like button. I'm not trying to be annoying. I'm not stopping the show. Like, shut up. We want to hear the show. Why do you keep stopping the show to talk about? This is what we need to grow. This is what we need to grow. All right. 199 super sticker from Melly with a big old heart. Thank you so much, Melly. Right back at you. Thank you so much. All right, let's keep going. My mom said she's going to X me out. Now, I'm going to skip this one because we already covered this one. We already covered this one in the previous dump. So if you want to watch this one, go back to part 1 and I read through it. It's long and I gave my commentary. And the last thing I want to do is give the same commentary that I gave before. I already covered this. I told you how I felt about it. Let's keep going. So we got a highlighted statement. Let me see if what this one says. Dariana says, question, where did you find the meaning of sustenance and it being linked to BDSM? I just tried looking into it and it doesn't mean anything bad. Right. So we put together the definition of sustenance, which is to tolerate something. And we went on Stephen Stern's BDSM page. And his name was Sustenance there. And he's basically the one that takes the pain. That's basically the context that the sustenance is used in. He's basically the one that takes the pain. All right. So that's where we got that connection. We made that connection. Okay. All this stuff is subjective, of course, because words have their actual definition, but you use the evidence that you have and you put it together. All right. Sorry, guys. All right, let's keep going. I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do. Like it or not, this is something you may need some help with. You may be scared or embarrassed to talk about. One more thing, there were other people with the name Sustenance, because there was like a search bar that we checked. There are other names that were Sustenance as well in the BDSM forum rather. So there are other people who actually was using that name as well. So we put all of that together. So does Sustenance literally means BDSM? No. But it's a name that people use because they are in a position of accepting the pain and taking the pain, etc. Okay. So anyway, let's keep going. So we're talking about I'm pregnant and I don't know what to do. Like it or not, this is something you may need some help with. You may be scared or embarrassed to talk to a trusted friend or family member, but it's probably the right thing to do. You need to go ahead to get ahead of this. You need a game plan. You need support. So once again, he's acting like he's the good stepfather. He's a virtuous man. He's a man that has honor and integrity. A woman gets pregnant, got to do what I got to do the right thing and take care of that baby. But we know what type of guy this guy is. So let's keep going. What if you found a stash of porno? And I think we were able to see the rest of this, like when I reviewed a lot of these documents before. I think this one is dealing with if your loved one has porn, like you found porn with your boyfriend or your girlfriend. So let's see what happens here. They have really great celebrity interviews, fashion tips, and I think he's talking about like what do they call it again? Playboy, etc. They've had really great celebrity interviews, fashion tips, lifestyle articles, and general guide advice and knowledge that was useful and interesting, and tastefully nude women. It really just an all-around guys magazine. I still have some of the specials from the early 2000s saved in an old box. And now this one is Trustworthy Class. I play a rogue. This dealing with his like gaming kind of thing, his like obsession with tabletop games and video games. So let's read this. I play a rogue. I understand your sentiment completely. I love it because questing on a rogue is so easy. Just bypassing mobs and going straight for the objective and being a single target DPS. Hot Rod is fun in dungeons and raids. I like to mostly mind my own business and act like an invisible bodyguard while I'm out and about. If I'm out in the world and I see an ally getting attacked, I may jump in if it's going badly. Otherwise, I'm doing my thing and minding my business. Rogues are a lot like sharks. You never know exactly how many might be around you at any given time, but you know they are probably there, and you should always be conscious of that possibility. So you listen to that, right? That's his personality. He lurks, I don't know. That just didn't sit right with me. It wasn't that bad. I'm not trying to overgrandize these things, but just reading that and how he talks about the game doesn't really sit right with me. What if you found a stash of porno? Let's see what else he says. Sustanet. They had really great okay, we already did that one. All right. Easily concealed 99 millimeter. Now, a lot of people haven't talked a lot about this, so I want to go ahead and talk about this because he was really big into guns. There's nothing wrong with that. Second Amendment is important. But let's see what he has to say about guns, because I haven't seen anybody read these comments about guns because people just kind of like focusing on the salacious stuff. But let's see what he had to say. There are a lot of great micro 9s out there these days, and I definitely recommend you look into them. I have 2 micros, a 6-hour P365 XL. That's a new gun. It's actually a pretty good gun. It's a single stab gun, which is fantastic for me. It fits in my hand like a glove, points very naturally, can accept optics, 12-round mags, and conceals great. I also have a Springfield Hellcat OSP, which I enjoy very much. Between the two, however, I am a bit faster on the draw and more naturally accurate with the SIG. So that's usually what I carry on a daily basis. So he is a daily carrier, which is crazy because I'm so happy that the police didn't have to deal with him trying to go out in a blaze of glory when they went to arrest him. But he's so narcissistic, he probably thinks he's gonna beat those charges. That's how narcissistic this guy is. He thinks he's gonna beat the charges. But anyway, let's keep going. I need to, but would switch to the Hellcat if I need something that is slightly more concealable for whatever reason, as a slightly smaller form with the Hellcat 11-round mags help with that. Both are optics ready and can accept the option of a small reflex. Let's see. Reflex sight, if that's something you're interested in. Get on the internet, look up micro 9s, decide on a few you'd like to check out, and get out to the local shops to wrap your hands around some of them and see what feels good to you. Now, on a side note, not like I want to get into a conversation about guns with Stephen Stearns, but just to all my fellow Americans out there who happen to care about guns. If you don't care about guns, that's perfectly fine. It's your own business. But this is a trick a lot of people don't know. See, I have my service is a 17. And my off duty is a 26. The reason why I won't go to a different off duty from the 26 is because you can actually use magazines from the 17 on the 26 and the 26 and the 17. No, actually, no, you can't use the 26, this 26 and 17, but you can use the 17 in the 26. Now, if I'm out in a pinch and something is going down and maybe my main gun, is incapacitated, maybe has a malfunction, maybe it gets shot, there's a bullet in it, whatever, I can now take that mag out and use it in my 26 and have a full capacity mag, an extended mag hanging out of my 26, which would keep me inside of the fight and keep me able to protect myself and protect others, of course. So that's very interesting. A lot of people don't know that. You can use the 17's mags inside the 26. It looks crazy. You got this small gun with like a magazine coming way out here, like you got like a Uzi or something, but very interesting stuff. Great, very, very interesting stuff. So let's keep going. All right, men, how good is your ability to, and I think this one says have a dry orgasm. Let's see. I used to take Adderall every day, and an unfortunate side effect of that medication for me was dry orgasms. Wow. Something down there got all clenched up while I was on this stuff and pinched off the flow. This is nasty. Causing retrograde ejaculation. Can somebody look up retrograde ejaculation for me? What the hell? We got to look that up. I'm sorry. Retrograde ejaculation. Retrograde ejaculation meaning. Retrograde ejaculation, also known as dry orgasm, is a rare ejaculation problem that occurs when semen flows backward into the bladder instead of out of the body during ejaculation. Oh boy. All right. Well, if anybody's suffering from that, I'm sorry to hear that. Let's keep going. Okay. All right. Well, we know what it means now. And I can tell you for sure that it is the most frustrating, and unsatisfying kind of orgasm that there is when there is no accompanying feeling of release. Even worse, if it happens often enough, it can train your body to just keep doing whether you want to or not. I had to retrain myself to be able to release normally again. He's so obsessed with sex, guys. It sucks. There is no scientifically proven health benefit to fully denying yourself to ejaculate. There are benefits to edging and stamina training, certainly, but not releasing at all? Nah. Any benefit there are potentially purported or anecdotal. Let's see what else we got there. Men, how good is your ability to have multiple orgasms while keeping yourself from ejaculating? So that was the full title. Now, let's keep going. So then he responds again. He says, like non-existent. I don't know how you intentionally have an orgasm without ejaculating other than clenching hard or pinching it off. So it's like, all right, so you've had experience doing this. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is so weird. Or why would you want to, as that kind of orgasm known as dry orgasm is not only extremely unsatisfying, but not really healthy either. It can lead to issues that cause infertility. Look up retrograde ejaculation. It's not fun. Let your swimmers fly free and train yourself. So we read this one last time, but we never read this one. But this one, it seems like two different people are writing this. Because one talks about how he has a personal experience suffering from this condition due to his medication, right? His Adderall medication. Then you go over to this next comment, and he totally like disassociates himself with his own personal experience like it never happened. So which one is it? Have you experienced retrograde, and do you have personal testimony because you were taking Adderall, or it's terrible, you should never do it, that's stupid, whatever, which is what this one is reading. I don't know. It just shows this guy just wants attention on the internet. This one's thumb safety. I opted to skip the safety on my XL. In my opinion, it is a small on any kind of small weapon, and I thought it might be a bit finicky and unnecessary extra control to manipulate under stress. I literally have a recurring nightmare about having to fire my weapon and the trigger won't budge. I also have an issue with thumb safeties rubbing me the wrong way on certain guns. The HK-45C was one of my grail guns, and I unfortunately ended up getting rid of it because the thumb safety was rubbing my thumb knuckle raw during every range session. I understand the peace of mind and manual safety can give, especially to newer owners, and I trained on a 1911 before anything else, so I know they can be just fine to train on, but I just felt that the P365 and smallest defensive pistols like it are a bit too small consistently and reliably. Let's see if it continues. Smallest defensive pistol like it are a bit too small for consistently and reliably manipulating external controls like that under stress when your body wants to freeze up. But really, it's going to come down to whatever you feel comfortable with, and it gives you extra peace of mind. Go for it. Just make sure you do drills with it often to keep the muscle memory sharp. That's the only thing he said that made sense, because it's how you train with a weapon that matters. You can have 1,000 safeties on it, and it's not going to stop you from taking action when it's time to take action, so long as you train on disengaging the safety. Also, that you also train on keeping your gun in the same state every single time. So if you're going to keep the safety on, make sure the safety is on. If you keep the safety off, make sure the safety's off, because when you're under stress, if the safety is on, then you're going to know to click it off. If the safety is off, then you might click it on because you're accustomed to the safety being on. So it's all about training. That's it. It's all about training. Let's keep going. So now, which politician do you find to be very hot? Stephen Stern says, Putin riding a horse, of course. A shirtless Putin riding a horse, of course. Let's keep going. People with tattoos, what problems? Blank. Sustanet says, this was 2 years ago. I once had the grandfather of a friend comment on my tattoo. It was the first time he'd seen that I had one. I was wearing a tank top, which exposed my shoulder blade, upon which is a tattoo of my family's heraldic coat of arms. Okay, let me look up heraldic. I don't even know what that is. Heraldic meaning relating to hereditary, okay, hereditary. So his family has a code of arms. His family has a coat of arms. Wow. Sassy Frass is in the building, says Strategic Eyes. Question, when guys like SS are arrested and stuff taken, does this include any firearms? Who has SS weapons? His weapons are currently probably most likely in the property of either the Kissimmee Police Department or the Orange County Sheriff's Department. If they're not believed to be a part of a criminal investigation, they might allow him to transfer those weapons to somebody else, to his father, his mother, or whoever. But if it's possibly believed that those weapons had anything to do with a crime, they will confiscate those weapons as evidence. Even if it's not a part of a crime, they may still confiscate it, and they may test it, especially when there's a murder involved. They may test it to see if it was used in any other crimes. So we know that Maddie wasn't shot, but they're going to test his weapons to make sure that they weren't used in any other crimes. And then they're going to return the weapons to whoever he designates as the person who will take those weapons into custody for him. And that could be his father, his friend, his mother, whoever. But most likely the weapons have either been transferred over to his father. They've either been taken as evidence, or in some instances, he could actually opt for them to destroy the weapons. Police departments never resell weapons. They never do that. They just destroy weapons. So they could do that for him too. If he's like, I have nobody to take these weapons, my parents don't want it, my friends don't want it, then they will destroy the weapons for him. He'll sign and say, I want them destroyed, and they'll destroy it for him. Let's keep going. So we are an old family that's been in America since the 1630s. We've been in America since 1630. Before we were even in America, I've had ancestors that fought in the Revolution. Big shout out to Kelly Davis, who gave one Strategic Eyes gift membership to a lucky fellow that happens to be Gina from West Virginia. Welcome and enjoy, and please make sure that you thank Kelly for gifting you a membership. I have ancestors that have fought in the Revolution, served as tent master under George Washington, witnessed the Battle of Bunker Hill, fought in the French and Indian War. We even at one time had family heirlooms that had once been Paul Revere's, supposedly. I am somewhat proud of the fact that my heritage can be traced so far back, even to before we came here. We saw it and saw something to the effect of the effing stupid, or people with tattoos are effing stupid, something like that. I just ignored them. He was old, near death, and sat around in his reclining chair, drinking cheap beer and pissing himself all day. The dude always reeks of piss. So what did he know? F the miserable old man. That's an old dude that you talking about like that, who's senile. It shows you how vindictive he is and how narcissistic he is about his heritage. Well, you had all these people in your family who have done all these amazing things, but you turned out to be a child abuser, CSAM producing demon spawn. So I guess all of those years of inbreeding didn't do you too well, did it, Stephen Stearns? We got 300 years of inbreeding. And look what we made, a Stephen Stearns. Come on, man, let's be serious here. Big shout out to Cherry Roberts, who gave a 5 Strategic Eyes Give membership gift. She gave a gift to 5 lucky people. That's Nana Lovely, Pharrell Alpha, Hound Lover, and Lisa Always, and Dariana. Welcome to the Strategic Eyes membership, and make sure you thank Cherry, because it's because of her that you have a gift membership. And to all the people who have gift memberships, I hope you enjoy the membership, and I hope that after that gift membership has expired in 30 days, that you consider continuing your membership and supporting the Strategic Eyes Show. Let's keep going. Sustenance. Now here comes the man-child stuff, guys. I want to zoom in because I want you guys to see what I'm talking about. Thoroughly enjoying having my little buddy on my belt during work. just racking up the steps and watts like crazy already. I bought an oversized PET glass screen protector to cut down to fit this screen, as well as I don't end up with a bunch of scratches that should arrive via Amazon sometime today. This is what he's talking about, ladies and gentlemen. He's got a Pokemon Pikachu Tamagotchi on his waist. Now, is this an asp? Because it looks like an asp, but it could also be a flashlight. It's probably a flashlight. Wow. This is when he worked at Disney. He's got the blue Disney pants. What a man-child. Let's keep going. Tama mail. It just arrived today. Very excited to finally get to play on them. There's Tamagotchi here. I just don't get it. How do you sleep with this guy? I mean, me and wifey has been together for 1,000 years. I think she stopped sleeping with me if this is what, if I just come home like, hey baby, I'm gonna collect Tamagotchis. I got some, I'm playing with my Tamagotchi. My Tamagotchi has to eat. Oh, can you help me install this light bulb? Can you help me fix the garage motor? 1 second, honey. I got to play with my Tamagotchis. When I'm done with the Tamagotchis, I'm going to come help you. This is a man-child here. A man-child. He thought he could be with Maddie because he thought he was 13 years old. He thought he was 8 years old. He is a man-child, a man in arrested development. This man is a loser. He is a loser. And I don't care who gets mad about it. And no disrespect, because I don't like fighting with my audience. But there's always going to be that one person who's going to say, well, I like Tamagotchis and I'm a grown man and I found that offensive. Just like when I said, you know, a 40-year-old woman should not be living at home with her parents unless there's some other circumstance, like you're taking care of them or you got into a bad divorce. Like if there's a circumstance, okay. But in our society, in our culture, at 40 years old, you should have your own. Nobody's saying you got to own a house. You can live with roommates. That's still independence. Having roommates is independence. You can live with roommates. You can have your own apartment. You can have your own house, whatever, your own trailer in a trailer park. It doesn't matter. It's yours. Why did 1 or 2 people hit me up in the chat? Oh, I love your show, but you offended me because you said that a 40-year-old woman or person, period, should not be living with their parents, and I live with my parents. Come on, man. Come on. We're talking about Stephen Stearns right now, okay? That's who we're talking about. Don't project yourself on the words that I'm speaking about. It has nothing to do with you. I don't know you. I don't know your circumstance, but we know this guy. We're seeing his life unfold right before us at this very moment. And this man is a man-child. And no real man should be running around playing with these toys and graping little girls and think that he could call himself a man. He is not a man. Big shout out to Pharrell Alpha with a $5 super chat. Says, thank you, Sherry. Thank you, Strategic. Thank you so much. So, wow. The gift membership came to Pharrell, and Pharrell donated to the show to say thank you back. Thank you. I mean, this is a circle of thanking. Thank you so much. You are appreciated. You're amazing. I'm about to end that poll in a second. We might put another poll up before the show is over. So let me end the poll. Thank you for everybody who contributed. And so right now, the end is going to be 94%. For 385 people voted on this poll. You guys are amazing. So that's 94% for yes and 6% for no. All right, the poll has ended. Let's keep going. All right. Let's keep going. Today we had company over. That happens rarely. I used it as an excuse to finally make some mango nata margaritas. I want to take mommy out to drink. Who's going to watch the kids? I really just had the urge to take that woman out. I don't know, like that just came from the soul. Like I want to take her out. I don't even want to get nothing to eat. I just want to get a lick it up. Take mommy out, get some margaritas, and have a great night. I don't know. Just had that urge. That was mad random. I'm sorry. I apologize, everybody, but I just had that random urge. Big shout out to CBC with a $10 super chat. Thank you so much for supporting the channel. You are amazing. So he made this, I mean, it does look good though. I'm not gonna lie. Just because he's evil doesn't mean he can't make a good drink. It looks interesting. It definitely looks interesting. I use it as an excuse to finally make some mango nata margaritas. I've been wanting to try. Great success. I only wish I had some clear stemware to serve them in rather than the mini solo party cups. It probably would look really nice, you know, in stemware, etc. This looks like it's delicious. I'm not gonna lie to you. Let's keep going. And this is his Mexican candies that he's so proud of. And let's keep going. Another example of the arrested development. The man child. Went to East this morning and decided to finally start my Legacy Saber collection. After weighing the options, I decided on the Dark Saber as my first one. Now, I want you to listen to this last part here. It shows you how much of a loser this guy is. And I'm sorry, once again, you're a freaking loser if this is how you spend your life. Mind you, remember, this is not a man that has a job and is supporting his family and supporting his girlfriend, supporting his stepdaughter that he likes to call her, even though he's not the stepdaddy. This is an unemployed, broke dude who's stealing money from his parents to buy these things. This is what we're dealing with here. If you're a grown man and you work your ass off every day and you want to have a hobby collecting toys, there's nothing wrong with that. The problem is when you're broke, you're unemployed, you got to steal from people to maintain this type of hobby. That's when you're a loser. Listen to the next part. Feels good in hand, nice weight to the hilt. Like it's a real sword. Only downside is that it was purchased rather than won in combat, so I can't rule Mangalore. I'm sorry. It's a loser. Let's keep going. I have a play date with Fuyotachi. I don't know. That's his Tamagotchi. He's so proud of. Let's keep going. Here's another Tamagotchi. This is his new pet. Mamechi singing his heart out. I included a couple snacks for your enjoyment as well. Wow. What a loser. Let's keep going. I received my Gen 1 a few days ago, and since the last one I owned was about 25 years ago, I just had to find out what the newer ones were like. And with my girlfriend's daughter's B-Day coming up, cue the Amazon overnight option, she and I now have our own picks to enjoy. Here's mine. I don't know. When he says our own picks to enjoy, if we didn't know anything about Stephen Stearns, I would say that he's talking about them taking pictures with their Tamagotchis. But we know what Stephen Stearns is about. We know what pictures he's taking with her. I wonder, because remember, a lot of times these guys get sexual gratification from knowing more than what you know, from the inside joke. So in this, he will say, we got our own pictures to enjoy, and you might infer that he's talking about the Tamagotchis, when in all actuality, he's talking about the CSAM that he produced with her. Maybe even the same night that this picture was taken. Big shout out to Melanie Moore, who's now a Strategic Eyes fam. Thanks for becoming a member of the Strategic Eyes show. We got 25 people so far who's become members of this show in this live stream alone. Let's keep going. I want to see more. 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 I want to see more because it's worth it, and you guys deserve it. You deserve the content, and the show benefits from your assistance, from your support. So yes, I want to see more. Let's keep going. Tried Mexican candy for the first time last week. Did not much care for it at first, not until my third try. Then the flavors clicked with my palate and I started to enjoy them. Now, several Amazon orders later, I'm addicted. I really love the lollipop so far. Still waiting on tamarind hard candy. Let's keep going. Magnetized my team for transport and just picked up this little metal box. So this is him like basically coloring his figurines, like the Warhammer 40K. I'll zoom in. They basically come gray, and you have to paint them yourself. So he did paint this stuff, and it's very creative. Once again, you can be the most evil person on the planet. The way that I live my life, I'm not averse from saying, oh, you did something good. This is very artistic. This looks very nice. I don't like Stephen Stearns. I want him to rot in hell, but he was very talented when it came to doing things like this. Let's see what he says. Some progress shots of my zombie linemen. Just finished them a few minutes ago. They are just awaiting basing, which will be done after the rest of the team is painted. C+C welcome. This is my first time. The colors I chose are purple and black, and I have not yet settled on a name for them. Very interesting. Kelly Davis with 5 Strategic Eyes memberships, gifting more memberships. Thank you so much, Kelly, for heeding a call for us to get more members. Wow, it's so amazing of you. And those members are going to be Dawn B, Mocha R, Diane Kivisto, and One Man's Trash. Welcome, and make sure that you thank Kelly for giving you a free membership. Make sure you thank her, okay? Let's keep going. And this is some of those the sets when you're playing Warhammer 40K. They have like sets that you have to paint these as well. These special mats that you can buy to kind of like give context to the sets, a backdrop, you know, a ground for it to lay on to set everything on. So this is how you play Warhammer 40K. That's basically what he's playing right here. Let's see what he has to say about it. Terrain set up for my 1K game last night against Imperial Fist. He came out swinging hard for his first 3 turns, but my final 3 had me coming back hard in the psychic. In the end, I pulled out a solid win, 500 point against AdMech. Awards ended in me tabling his army by end of round 3. All is dust. Okay, so this is his setup, and that's him playing 40K in his house with some other loser. Sorry, I actually like 40K. So you're not a loser if you like 40K. 1 year into Warhammer 40K, here's everything I painted so far, with much more still to come. All right, let's see how his setup looks. Okay, I see you. So he's pretty good with the whole painting. His 40K stuff looks really nice. He is definitely a talented person, but he has a lot of time on his hand as well. My first SIG and have been loving it. 500 flawless rounds so far. I'm looking to give it something to differentiate from others. Any thoughts on grip modules, gray guns versus Army Craft versus Icarus? All right, he wants to customize it. This is a barrel, but it's a bronze barrel. I've never seen one of those before. My true precision barrel on my Hellcat is developing some concerning looks. Where? I hear you. This is his concealed carry. Received my new Holo Sun today, along with my new cross breed hybrid MT2 holster. I'm really digging the green dot. Let's go. I will have owned my stainless steel TLE 2 for 10 years this December. It's a pretty gun. Reliability has always been top notch for me, shown with my Milt Sparks Summer Special 2 holster. This is a pretty gun. I like this gun. It's a pretty gun. I like brown holsters too. Let's keep going. Let me make sure I didn't skip one. All right. Received my True Precision barrel and this taco-tastic looking Reckoning holster from Crossbreed today, just in time, Taco Tuesday. Okay. Okay. More guns. Joined the Hellcat Club today, picked up the OSP model and had to have it. Can't wait to throw some rounds through it. We'll be adding PRP trigger kit and Swamp Fox Sentinel ASAP. Okay. It's a concealed carry gun right there. Let's keep going. Played the Necrons versus Iron Hands tonight. We won. All right, he's playing his I think that might be it, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. That's that for his part 2 of his internet postings. But I want to show you something. Bring it back to me, because I want to show you something, guys. I want to show you proof on how much of a loser this guy is. So, first grade loser, ladies and gentlemen. This dude was definitely a loser. I'm over here looking for it, so just bear with me. I apologize. Bear with me for a second. This is a very important document we're going to look through. Very important document. I got a lot going on in here, so you got to like fish for it. I think I may have sent that one to this other email to make it easier for me to find it. Let me just make sure. This is the storage. Let me see this one right here. This one's not it. That's okay. Let's come back over here, and I apologize once again for the delay. Once again, I apologize for the delay. Right. Sarah Boone. Okay, here we go. Boom. Got it. 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 Let me download it so I can put it in this better screen. Open. Perfect. Get this out of here. Boom. I got it. Check this out, ladies and gentlemen. I'm going to bring this to your attention. This is a court document that lists his assets, ladies and gentlemen. Let me bring this up for you guys. Sorry. This is the document that lists his assets. I felt like we've been here for like 2 hours. We've only been here not even for an hour and a half or an hour and 25 minutes so far. This is the document that lists his assets. I want to read through this with you so you could get a good look of who Stephen Stearns was as a man. So when I call him a loser, I'm not being mean, all right? I'm not being a mean boy. You know what I mean, girls? I'm not being a mean boy. I'm telling you like it is, okay? I'm not trying to offend anybody out there who may be unemployed or something like that. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm telling you who Stephen Stearns is. In the Circuit County of the 9th Judicial Circuit in and for Osceola County, Florida. Application for criminal indigent status, meaning I have no money. He checks off. The perp has to fill this out. Nobody fills this out for him. He has to fill this out. He has to sign it. This is Stephen Stearns' handwriting here, okay? State versus Stephen Stearns. I am seeking the appointment of the public defender. Let's go down to this section. Notice to applicant. There's a $50 fee for each application filed. The public defender, court-appointed lawyer, will process the services are not free and lien may be imposed on all property owned. If you are a parent guardian making this affidavit on behalf of your minor tax-dependent adult, the information contained in this application must include your income and assets. Number one, I have 0 dependents. Thank God this man had no children of his own. Number two, I have take-home pay of $0. I have take-home pay of $0, ladies and gentlemen. Big shout out to Lou. Have a good one. $0. 3, I have other income. And here's the other ones. Social Security benefits, no. Unemployment compensation, no. Union payments, no. Retired pensions, no. Trusts or gifts, no. Veterans benefits, no. Workers' compensation, no. Regular support for absent family members, no. Rental income, no. Dividends or interest, no. Other kinds of income not on the list, no. I have other assets, cash, no. Car, no. Money market accounts, no. Boats, no. Bank savings account, no. Stocks, bonds, deposits, certificates of deposits, no. Homesteads, real estates, no. Non-homestead real estate, no. Check 1. I do not expect to receive more assets in the near future. Based on the information application, I've determined the applicant. This is from the county now. This is the county writing this. And the public defender hereby appointed to the case listed above on March 1st, 2024. He's a bum. He's a bum. Stephen Stearns is a bum. Stephen Stearns is a man in arrested development. And I blame his parents, ladies and gentlemen. I blame his parents. His parents should have done a better job bringing this man into the world and teaching him to love not only himself, but others, to respect the autonomy and the dignity of others. His parents created the monster. His mother, his father, and all the people who never held him accountable for the bad things that he did as a young man, they are all reasons to blame for the reason why that Maddie is gone. We watched it with our own eyes. We read it with our own eyes that Stephen Stern's mother claimed that she never saw her son when he came to the house, even though the dogs barked and the door opened. We know, in our opinion, that she's a liar. We know she's a liar. We heard, or rather we read with our own eyes, the email where Stephen Stern's mother is making allegations that Jen Soto knew what her son was doing to Jen Soto's daughter. I don't even know if I should believe that. I have my own opinions of Jen Soto. I think in a separate matter that she may have been complicit either by being a terrible mother or by giving her to giving Maddie to this monster. But I don't think that the mother knows that. I don't think Deborah Stearns knows that. I think she's just lying because she knows that these emails are going to be read. She knows that these emails are public information. I think she's lying. I don't think she has knowledge of Jen Soto participating in the abuse of Maddie. I don't trust Deborah Stearns, just like I don't trust Jen Soto. How is it in this cosmic coincidence, coinky-dink, that two toxic women could orbit this toxic sun that is Stephen Stearns? One of those people had no choice but to find him. She created him. She created him. But the other one somehow found him. How is it that these two toxic women with enormous personality flaws could orbit and gravitate Stephen Stearns? How do we find all these different peas in the pod? I don't know. Tell you what, though. Go ahead and you can like and subscribe, join the channel. We, until the day Stephen Stearns is found guilty, will work together to try and figure it out together. That's all I got for you guys today. I hope you guys had a good show. I hope you appreciate the information I brought to you. I hope it gave you something to talk about, think about. I'd love to hear your commentary inside of the comment section for the replay crew. Please make sure everybody who watched this live, if you could just come back when this show is done and just hit a thumbs up on the main show and leave a comment in the main show. I would have really appreciated it, even though you may not watch the entire thing because you've already watched it. Please go be a part of the replay crew. Let it play for a minute or two. And make sure you hit that like button and make sure you comment in the comment section. Please, guys, please, please, please give me constructive feedback on this. What you think about it. Do you think that I was wrong? Do you think he's narcissistic or not? What do you think about the deep dive and some of the things that he said on the internet? What are your feelings on that? Make sure you keep it respectful. If you haven't noticed, the Strategic Eyes Show is a place for respectful commentary. If you disagree with me, you always disagree respectfully, and I'll always respond respectfully and kind. But we will not tolerate trolling and bullying in our comment section. We are making a safe space to talk about victims. In my previous show that I did before doing True Crime with Strategic, we had a anything goes policy in the comment section because we were about free speech. We were about politics and people needed to express themselves politically. But we don't talk about that anymore. We're talking about victims. And so the standard is higher. And when we talk about victims, we cannot have people in our comment section denigrating victims and making a hostile environment where people are afraid to express themselves. Respectfully express yourself. and you will be respectfully heard. But understand that this is not a place for trolling, and it's not a place for negativity. If you decide to do that in the comment section, you're basically identifying yourself to us as somebody we need to get rid of and punish. It is what it is. This is what we are building, a place for respectful adults to talk about victims, to give the voiceless a voice. That is the mission of the Strategic Eyes Show. I think I might add that to my logo, to my page. True Crime with Strategic. Giving a voice to the voiceless. That is our raison d'etre on YouTube. That is our goal. That is our life's work, to give a voice to the voiceless. Please do me a favor, hit the like button on your way out the building. Before we go, big shout out to David with a $20 super chat. Says, hello, Strategic. Late, but I'm here. Appreciate you, David. Longtime supporter of the show. David been with me for years. Years. And we appreciate David. Great guy. Hardworking man. Man's man. We appreciate you, David, man. Thanks for supporting the channel. But I got to get the hell out of here, guys. So make sure that you hit that like button. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Strategic is out of here. Peace.